Alright guys, welcome back to the channel today, and I might have found my new favorite show of this season so far, because Trigun Stampede episode 1 was great. And yes, I know there's another episode coming out tomorrow. Trust me, we're doing that one too. I can't believe how good this first episode was. I remember watching Trigun like 10 years ago for the first time and thinking, wow, this is such a cool world, cool characters, Vash is awesome. And they killed it. They killed it in this episode. It's honestly crazy that after so long, we can just hop back in and it feels the same. It's wild. I love it. Now, this is a reboot, guys. In case you didn't know, this is a reboot. Things will be different in this version. And if you watched episode 1, you can tell immediately that some things are different. But I will say the 3D in this looks good. It looks good, actually. I don't think the 3D looks bad at all. I think they did a really good job with it. Trust me, guys, you watch enough series, you can tell the difference between good 3D and bad 3D. This looked good. I'm over the moon gushing about this series. So let's just get straight into it and talk about Trigun Stampede episode 1. Because I loved it. Now, full disclosure to you guys. I hear that Trigun Stampede is going to very closely follow the manga. If not, be like one for one. That they're going to come back and just follow it faithfully. And I'm going to say now, I've never read the manga for Trigun. Or, it was like Trigun Maximum was the second manga they made. I've never read those. I'll be honest, I haven't. I've only seen the anime, and this was like 10 years ago, so my memory's not going to be completely here. So bear with me, we'll rediscover everything together. Now, our episode begins in space, as we see this giant spaceship flying by with the words Seeds on the side. Now, I vaguely remember Seeds from the series. I vaguely remember it. And as we transition inside the ship, we see a bunch of pods with people in it as a young boy walks up and greets everyone there. But all of a sudden, we see an explosion occur as we just hear Vash come back immediately, as we see that the station itself is exploding. And it's here we see Vash running around the station desperately looking for someone as he hears his name gets called out, and we see that Nai and Rem have found him, the people he's been looking for. As they hug and Rem tells him everything's fine, the ship's AI is just exaggerating, don't mind the explosions. You two gotta follow me now. And they get out of there. And it's here we see that she brought them to an escape pod as she says, get in and hurry. As Nai extends his hand and says, alright Rem, come on, you too. But judging from the look on her face that Rem gives them in this moment, we can tell that's not happening. As she says, I love you both. And closes the pod door on them as she says, Vash, Nai, I want you two to survive. Meeting you has brought me so much joy. As Nai starts the escape pod and they bolt out of there, as we see a giant blast of fire from where they just were, eclipse Rem and the station itself, as Vash starts crying at the loss of Rem. And it's here we get this cool little segment of seeing the space pod dodging all these debris as they land on the planet below. It's here we transition to a little bit of a time skip actually, as we go down to the planet below, and we see these two people just driving along the desert. Typical Trigun stuff, if you've seen the original. And they're not driving too well, as the man says, you trying to die young, newbie? As he's a little heated that she spilled his liquor while driving recklessly. As she says, you shouldn't be drinking while we're working anyway, Roberto. As she takes a piece of paper, smacks him in the face with it, and says, also, my name's not Newbie. And as we look at it, we get introduced to Meryl Strife, who is an original character from the show. And they definitely made her look younger in this. I'm not the only one that thinks that, right? She definitely looks younger than this in the original. As she tells him, becoming a reporter was my dream. Someday, I'll be on the news desk. As Roberto cuts her off and says, wow, I didn't know we had a rising star on this little gossip piece of ours. As he sneezes into the paper and says, this is why I didn't want to babysit a newbie right here. And it's here Roberto tries to ground Meryl a bit as he says, alright, let me tell you something, newbie. This scorching planet, no man's land, is cruel beyond belief. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You'll find out soon enough. You've got a lot to learn about doing what it takes to survive, young lady. As Meryl gets a little heated and puts the car in... and makes the car go faster and makes him spill even more liquor. As she says, just wait until I get my big scoop. You'll see. But all of a sudden the car breaks down and Meryl's just like, oh, wait. I forgot to charge the battery. As Roberto tells her, you'll be toast before you know it, kid. Now, a lot of you guys who have seen the original might be thinking, where's Millie? Now, we don't know. We do not know. As of right now in the show, at least, Millie's gone. Like, she seemingly has been replaced with Roberto. Who, fun fact, his full name is actually Roberto De Niro. I'm not joking. Go look it up. I swear it's Roberto De Niro. It's ridiculous. But this is already a start of the change that we have in this episode. Because originally, in the original show, Meryl was a part of the insurance agency. I don't remember their name, but she was a part of an insurance agency with another character named Millie. So now Millie's not here, and instead of that, she's a reporter now. Which I find interesting. Like I said, this is a reboot after all, so things will be different. And so far, I like Meryl's new look. I do. I think she looks good. A little younger, but she looks good. Now, with their car out of juice, Meryl and Roberto have no choice but to walk the desert. That's rough. And so they make a little small talk as they're walking, as Meryl asks him, you know, does this Humanoid Typhoon or whatever even exist? As Roberto tells her, you've seriously never heard of him? As he throws a book in her face and says, if you meet him, you're done for. He's a walking disaster. That's how he got the nickname, the Humanoid Typhoon. And I love the fact that the wanted posters and all that are still super goofy, just like the original show. I really like that personally. It's a nice little touch. As Meryl just laughs and says, real people aren't monsters like that. There's no way. But I won't give up, no matter how unreasonable the assignment. She's definitely got pluck. I'll give her that. But all of a sudden, Roberto stops where he is and says, that'd be the aftermath right there. As we see 3 bodies just hanging in the desert. As he says, looks like the work of the Bad Lads gang. What a name. And as Meryl walks up to the bodies, we notice that one person's still alive and he extends a hand to her. And that hand comes right off. As he just starts laughing menacingly, which I kind of love. Now, Roberto wants to leave, but Meryl's just like, you know, we can't leave him hanging here. Can't we, though? As she cuts him down and Roberto asks him, are you a gunman? As the mysterious man says, yeah, I guess, but I'm not much of a fighter. As Roberto says, you have some lost technology, huh? Interesting. But it's here all of a sudden, we get the arrival of some new people running in. As Roberto's like, I know those uniforms. What are the Jula military police doing all the way out here? As Meryl's just like, oh, the police? They can help us, and calls them over. And when they get over, he pulls out a flyer and says, have you seen this man around here? As Roberto asks them, what's this man done? As we see the poster of this good-looking guy over here. I wonder who that could be. As the guy says, they call him the Humanoid Typhoon. He's killed folks all over and he's running around destroying plants. He's a vicious criminal with a 6 million bounty on his head. I'm glad they didn't change the amount, by the way. It's the same. I'm very glad. As he asks her, so, have you seen this guy or not? As Meryl's just like, yeah, I saw him. I saw that guy for sure. He went that way in a completely wrong direction. As the military says, damn, you should have said so sooner, you fool. And they go run off. As our mysterious man comes out and says, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much for that. As Meryl ties him up with a rope and says, I'll turn you over to the military police after I get an exclusive interview with you. Kind of savage. Roberto's just like, damn, well done, newbie. As Meryl adds, besides, if he's been falsely accused, it's our job as reporters to clear his name. As our mysterious man is just like, running into such nice folks. I can't believe my luck out here. As he starts charming Meryl a little bit as he adds, why don't we do this exclusive interview at the diner instead of out here? As Meryl's just like, wait, there's a diner? Why didn't you say that earlier? As she drags him off. As Roberto grabs the wanted poster and says, the Humanoid Typhoon, huh? Vash the Stampede! Oh, it's been so long since I've said that name. I love it. I'm so happy. And it's here after, you guessed it, even more walking. They make it to the western city of Genora Rock. And as Meryl walks into the diner, I love how, just like in old western movies, everyone stops what they're doing and just looks at her like, who the hell is this in here? We've never seen this primpy chick before. Now, everyone's giving Meryl the cold shoulder a little bit. Even the bartender here. But she perks up real quick when she sees Vash come in. As Vash is just like, oh man, you got a second on the way, Rosa? You're looking a little big. Where's the hubby? She says, yo, I kicked his lazy ass out. As Meryl says, you two seem kind of close, huh? And she says, of course. He saved the whole town of Genora Rock after all. As Rosa asks them, just who are you exactly? What are you planning to do with Vash here? Depending on your answer, things might get bloody. Oh, damn. As Vash butts in and says, wait, they're my friends. But Rosa asks, what's with that rope around you then? As Vash just casually slips out and says, what rope? I don't see a rope. He's just messing with him the whole time. He could have broke out at any time. As Rosa drops in and says, fine, you must have a good reason for being with him. And as Meryl asks for 3 waters for all of them, we see immediately the struggles that this town's facing. As the water is very dirty. As Meryl looks around and everyone has the same kind of water. As Rosa says, I'm sorry the water's dirty. Our water-producing plant broke down and we've been buying it from another town. No one's gonna have clean water for a while. But she adds, but since you 3 came around, maybe things are looking up for us. As she says, would you take another look at it, Vash? And our boy just smiles at her. And as they get to the plant, Roberto just says, damn, I wouldn't have pegged you as a plant engineer. And as they walk into the plant, it looks really cool, actually. Aesthetically, I think they did a great job with it. As they're walking up, Rosa says, it broke down a few years ago as well. Vash fixed it, free of charge. As Roberto's like, so that's how you saved the town, huh? As he asks Meryl, you know what plants are, right, newbie? And it's here that Meryl starts explaining the plants to us, the viewers, because I didn't remember, I'll be honest. As she says, they're biological generators that produce everything humanity needs to survive on this desert planet. Part of the technology lost after the spacefaring age. As Roberto adds on, we can't make them anymore. If you want one, you have to pay a premium or steal it. Hence why every town keeps tight control of theirs. And as we transition over to Vash, he looks a little spooked as he says, a red plant. And he tells Rosa, it's dying. Buying a new one would cost a fortune, but if we do nothing, something even worse will happen. And it's here our situation goes from bad to worse, as all of a sudden we just hear, so you need a lot of money, do ya? We've tracked you down, Humanoid Typhoon. As we see that it's the same military guys from earlier in the episode. As their leader says, haven't you heard about the huge bounty on that man's head? Funnily enough, that's just about the cost of a new plant, his bounty. If you turn him in, that'll solve this town's problems. As he tells Vash to come along quietly and punches him in the gut and throws him to his boys, who start beating the hell out of him as they tie him up. As Vash is just like, can we settle this peacefully, fellas? That'd be swell. And it's here that I'm really starting to like Roberto as a character already. As he just pretends to be drunk and says, hey now, you sure about this? This is gonna make a great article title. Jula military police show their weakness. Cowardly drawing guns on unarmed suspect. If you're a real man, you'll settle this with a duel. Otherwise, you'll be known as a coward for the rest of your days. As their leader pulls a gun on him and says, you know what? You're on, old timer. Let's do a duel. And I love how in this world, everyone's just immediately like, oh shit, I gotta start betting. Look, I got 10K on the Jula guy. Let's go. I'm gonna get a fortune out of this. I kind of love that. That's funny as hell to me. As Meryl says, Roberto, I'm not sure a duel is the best idea. He seems really bad at this. But again, Roberto's got to impart a little bit of wisdom on Meryl as he says, you don't win a duel by drawing first. If you shoot too early or too slow, you lose. Just watch. He might not be as bad as you think. And it's here we see both of them square up for the duel. Now, unfortunately, this ain't with cards. This ain't Yu-Gi-Oh! This an old-fashioned gunslinger duel, baby. And it's here that he tells Vash, draw. But Vash tells him flat out, no, I don't want to. This is stupid. As the leader says, you know, I suppose you're right. It is stupid. As he takes his holster with the gun in it, throws it at Vash and says, a fight should be a show, as he takes out a freaking rocket launcher! He shoots it in the air, and even his men are like, Captain, firing a cluster bomb will get us all in danger! What are you doing? We're supposed to capture him alive, Captain! Like, damn, guys, this is my kind of duel now. As the captain just laughs and says, I never wanted to duel you in the first place. Let's enjoy ourselves, Humanoid Typhoon. And if Vash of all people says you're crazy, that's not a good thing. And as Meryl tries to run in there and help, Roberto pulls her aside and says, alright, that's enough. You nearly died enough today, newbie. Remember, we're only reporters. We're not military police or bodyguards. You do well to remember only the privileged get to sling around the word coward. That's an actual bar. Roberto knows what he's talking about, dude. That's true. But as Meryl looks back at Vash, she realizes that, you know, he's trying to keep everyone out of harm's way. As Roberto says, he's just like you, newbie. Not long for this world. As we get this really cool sequence of Vash pulling the gun out, and he's about to pop off. And as he fires the gun, you think, oh man, this is about to be a crazy scene. Then he's like, wait a minute, huh? Wait, what? What? I don't have any bullets! Damn, I forgot to reload my gun! Like this is a video game. Even Meryl's just like, unbelievable. You can't be serious. And as the extremely slow cluster bombs are falling from the ground, Vash is just running around like, does anyone have any ammo? Please, I need some ammo right now. SOS. Please, does anybody have 22 caliber bullets? We're all gonna die. And it's here we just hear, I got one, as we see Meryl running to him as she shouts, this is from Rosa, and chucks the bullet to Vash. Bro, Meryl's got a hell of an arm. Let's just say that right away. She's got a hell of an arm. And as the bullet's about to reach Vash, the military guy just shoots it away. As Vash is desperately running after this one bullet, but he does catch it and load it in his gun. As he's about to fire at the missiles, but the military guy shoots his gun, runs up to him and tries to shoot him at point blank range. But Vash is a savage and dodges all the bullets. It's kind of sick. As he flips him on his back and hits him with the butt of the gun, knocking him out. As he rips a giant rock out of the ground with his robot arm, throws it in the air, and then shoots it, making the rock explode into debris that crash into all the missiles, exploding all of them. Have no clue if this would work in real life. I doubt it, but it looked really cool here. Stopping all the bombs at once, and we get this nice little fireworks show. How nice. And it's here, I believe, we transition to the next day, as they're walking out of the rock, and Vash says, gosh, that was a surprise. I wasn't sure one bullet would be enough. I'm one lucky duck, aren't I? And he tries to leave with that. But as he's leaving, Roberto's smarter than that, as he asks him, who are you afraid of? Does it have something to do with that red plant? You weren't fazed in the least by the military police. So tell me, what does scare you? As Vash tells them both, I have a brother. And it's here we have a flashback sequence to the beginning of our episode when these two landed on the Earth. As we see his brother on a mound as he says, a brilliant success. I finally did it. As it's revealed that he was the reason that the station exploded. As Vash asks him, how could you? As his brother tells him, don't worry, I made sure the plant ship would survive. As Vash says, you killed even Rem? As his brother says, don't scold me. You're my accomplice. As he starts laughing at him and says, isn't that right, Vash? And it's here we transition to this strange man in a really weird get-up, playing the piano in a rundown building as we just hear, Millions Knives. As Vash asks Marilyn Roberto, have you ever heard that name before? And as we transition back to that man, we hear, so you found him. Take me there to retrieve him. They're all filthy parasites, and this time, I'll completely eliminate them. And with that, our first episode ends. And this is going to end up being a really long video. I didn't want that to happen, but I had so much fun doing this video because this is so nostalgic for me. I love Trigun so much as a series. So I was so excited and happy when this show came back. And it's good. It's really good so far. Seriously. I don't think the 3D looks bad. I said that at the beginning, but I really don't. I think it looks pretty damn good. If I remember correctly, Studio Orange is the one making this, right? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but aren't they known for, like, 3D animation? Isn't that, like, their thing? So this is a great studio to do this if it has to be 3D. And so far, it looks good. I'll keep it a buck and say it looks better than Nier. It definitely looked better than Nier did. I gotta say. And I'm just so excited that Trigun is back. I can't wait. Expect episode 2 on this very soon, guys. Trust me. We're definitely doing that. And I think this might be our new Saturday show. So I really hope you guys rock with this because I kind of really loved it. But let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I would love to hear opinions on this because Trigun is such a classic series, you know? So to bring it back is a big deal. But yeah, guys, I love this first episode. And I really hope they keep this momentum, the animation, and the pace of the show moving forward. I loved it. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces and have a blessed day. I'll see you guys next time.